This is basically turning the West Acres Theater, the whole thing, into a bar. And it would turn that into probably the largest bar in Fargo.
Another step closer to grabbing a beer to go with your movie, but just barely. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. There was strong opposition to allowing alcohol to be served at West Acres Cinema.
The Fargo City Commission did not approve it tonight, simply received and filed the alcohol license for West Acres Cinema. To pass it has two more steps. Valley News Team's Krista Boehm explains why some commissioners want to put a stop to the idea of sitting back and sipping on a beer at a movie.
Pour a cold one, grab that popcorn, and enjoy the movie you've been dying to see. But some Fargo leaders are concerned it will ruin a popular family event.
Even though I'm a parent and sometimes I wish I would have a drink when Barney is on, sometimes you just have to suck it up and go to a kid's movie and not have alcohol.
Commissioners Dave Pepcorn and Melissa Sobolik say they've heard from dozens and dozens around town who say booze and the big screen are not a good mix.
It's been unanimous. People are like, hey, this isn't making our town a better town.
Questions of security were raised, but those who've been to a theater already serving alcohol say it's not an issue, and if it becomes one, the theater will suffer.
If they screw up, if they do a bad thing, they'll get their license pulled, they might close their business. There's repercussions for these things.
It's not so much a question of Marcus Theaters handling the alcohol. It does in other states. It's whether the culture fits in Fargo.
I think it's a bigger question of, is that the sort of culture we want to have in our movie theaters as a city? And I don't intend to support it.
And neither does Commissioner Mike Williams, although he did support receiving and filing the license, so the matter could be further discussed. Being a swing vote, Williams could be the vote that takes the fizz out of alcohol sales at Fargo movies. Krista Boehm, Valley News Live.
A representative for West Acres Cinema was there but didn't want to talk at this time. The matter is expected to come up in 2 weeks during first reading. And we want to know what you think about this. Join the conversation on our Facebook page. Just go there, like Valley News Live, and leave your comment. And you'll also be able to stay informed on stories like this and many more throughout the entire day.
A burden on a burden on a burden. That's the fear from Cass County commissioners with the Refugee Resettlement Program. Lutheran Social Services CEO Jessica Thomason was on hand to answer the many questions that commissioners have. She was actually invited to attend last month's meeting, but failed to show up despite saying she contacted them. Thomason was grilled on the Syrian refugees, how much money LSS makes, and how it's spread out, and why Cass County has to bear the brunt of the resettlement process.
Beyond those 90 days, what happens next year? Where are these people going? What are they doing? We know they're doing good, but at what cost? Can we keep supporting it? I don't know, and that's what we need to figure out.
Commissioner Peterson added if they have these answers, they can figure out if they're actually meeting the needs of the refugee population.
A Fargo woman is in jail after crashing into a car and a BNSF railroad crossing arm and then driving off. 23-year-old Erin Glarum was arrested for DUI and huffing after police found her heavily damaged car at a Tesoro gas station in North Fargo. Police say they found several cans of N-Dust inside her SUV. This after she hit a car, which then hit another before she ran into a crossing arm.
The man accused of kidnapping and sexually assaulting a woman at a gas station in Mapleton appeared in court today. This after refusing to show up last Friday to court. Abdul Rahman Ali faces several counts, including gross sexual imposition, kidnapping, and terrorizing. Investigators say that Ali forced a woman working at Gordy's Travel Plaza into the woman's bathroom, locked the door, and started assaulting her. He faces life in prison without parole if he's found guilty.
Jacob Dittmer, a former Moorhead hockey standout, changed his plea to guilty today to criminal sexual conduct. Dittmer was accused of climbing through a 14-year-old girl's bedroom window and having sex with her last June. Dittmer's sentencing is scheduled for February.
Officials are unsure if a popular game had any role in a crash that killed two Lakeville, Minnesota high school boys. 18-year-old Johnny Price and 17-year-old Jake Flynn died when their vehicle rolled Friday afternoon. Two others were injured in the crash. Now, the game in question is called Nerf Wars. Teenagers shoot at each other with toy guns, and the person who gets all the targets wins. Nerf Wars has been speculated as a possible cause of the crash, and sheriff's officials have said they are looking into that possibility. Meanwhile, here at home, Fargo police say they are not concerned about the game happening in our area.
Have you made any big holiday purchases? Maybe a smart TV, a new cell phone? Your list is probably full of items that are very expensive, and that is why thieves are looking for the right moment to strike.
Valley News Team's Cornelius Hocker tells us how you can protect your valuables even if they end up in the hands of a criminal.
What happens when something's stolen, if we don't have a serial number, it makes it virtually impossible to get that property back to the rightful owner.
And Lieutenant Mitchell says even if they do get back stolen property, without any way to verify your ownership, you're most likely out of luck. That's why the City of Fargo has a program called My Property.
You can register any serial numbers you might have on property that you have at your home. If you don't have a serial number on an item, you can also take pictures of it, and it'll store that in your own setting on My Property.
So say your child's clarinet or the family laptop ends up in a pawn shop.
Any item that we take in has to have a serial number, has to most likely have a model number depending on some certain situations.
Seth Dye says there are several steps in place to make sure the pawn shop he works for doesn't take in stolen goods.
If there's any tampering, damage, scratched out numbers, red flag, we don't loan on that. We don't give any money for that.
Before getting to serial numbers, Dye says having a valid form of identification is necessary to pawn or sell anything to First National Pawn. They make sure they enter every item that comes through their doors on a nationwide database.
Anything that any pawn shop in the U.S. takes in, it's posted on an online site that every detective in pretty much every town can access.
Which is why you should take that extra step and write down the serial or model number of the things you buy, making it easier for law enforcement to track them if they get stolen. Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
For a link to that site where you can register your property, go to valleynewslive.com and look for this story.
A major donation tonight. Costco donated more than $30,000 to Sanford Children's Hospital. And helping accept the check, Grace Hubrig, who also got a huge surprise in the form of this 300-pound teddy bear. Look at that bundle of joy. Born at 28 weeks, Grace was a Sanford Children's NICU patient, so it was a full circle moment for the new vibrant and thriving 6-year-old and her family. In our area, Costco has raised more than $60,000 for 3 years for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Sanford Children's Hospital is part of that network.
December 7th, 1941. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt called it a day in which we'll live in infamy. Well, today marks the 74th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. Just before 8 o'clock on Sunday morning, nearly 400 Japanese warplanes attacked our home port on the United States Pacific Fleet. About 2,400 people were killed, Americans were killed, another 1,200 were wounded, many while attempting to repel the attack. The attack, of course, prompted the United States to enter World War II, a 4-year war costing more than 400,000 American lives. Here in the Valley, both Minnesota and North Dakota governors ordered flags lowered to half-staff today to pay respects to those who lost their lives during the attack and to honor those who served.
Valley News